One day Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu was sitting with his companions, and then he rotated his gaze and he said, there's a youngster that used to be attending my gathering, I don't see him. And he was very talented, he was very robust, he was very muscular, he was very skilled. Lahu za'irun ka za'ir al-asad, he had the roar of a lion. So someone said, Umar, close the chapter and move on. The man has indulged in social evils and unfortunately he's got a drinking habit. So you know what, don't even bother yourself and move on. Umar said, no, he's part of us. And why should we continue indulging or engaging in a supposed program when one of our members have defected? When one of our members are in a crisis? We've got to respond to his aid, we've got to stand out. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu then gave it thought and he wrote a verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces himself by saying,
لا يمسهم فيها نصب وما هم منها بمخرجين نبئ عبادي أني أنا الغفور الرحيم أني أنا الغفور الرحيم.
Allah is one who pardons, who accepts repentance, yet full of might and authority. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu writes from Umar to so and so, writes this ayah, and then he gives it to a person and he says, do me a favor, go to this particular brother of mine who unfortunately is in this crisis. If I have to discover that so and so has fallen, that's the gossip, that's the social, it's just excitement, it's just, you know what. Sayyidina Umar halted his program, got them activated, mobilized his team, captured this in writing, tasked one person as an envoy. He said, you take this note and you go and give it to this man. But two things, you give it to him personally. If you don't meet him, you don't give it to anyone else. This is confidentiality. This is confidentiality. We need to trust and respect that. Number one. Number two, you give it to him when he's sober and he's in a state that he can read it. If you find that unfortunately he's not sober, he's not in his senses, then you wait till he recovers, and when he's in a good state, you drop him the note. The envoy takes this note, light as it is, laden with prayer and supplication, brimming with concern and worry. He then addresses his congregation and he said, "Ud'u Allah li akhikum an yuqbila biqalbihi." Now I'm not going to have a program. We've changed our program. Every one of you now engage in passionate prayer that when this note drops in the lap of our brother, it must effect a positive change, and Allah must inspire his heart to embrace the bold step of change. So it's just not a lousy SMS, it's just not a simple text, it's just not sending an email, it's filled with meaning. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ الرَّجُلَ كِتَابُ عُمَرَ, when the note of Umar falls in the lap of this man, جَعَلَ يَقْرَأُهُ وَيُرَدِّدُهُ وَيَبْكِي, he started reading it, reflecting, introspecting and tearing. And he said, Umar, I salute your vision. I salute your choice. What a verse from the entire Quran. You're giving me hope and you're chastising me. You're inspiring me with a glamour of hope and you're rebuking me. نَزَعَ فَأَحْسَنَ النَّزْعَ, he then repented and became one of the most rehabilitated youth Medina had ever seen. And then Sayyidina Umar said, my lesson for today is this: إِذَا رَأَيْتُمْ أَخًا لَكُمْ زَلَّ زَلَّةً فَسَدِّدُوهُ وَوَثِّقُوهُ وَلَا تَكُونُوا أَعْوَانًا لِلشَّيْطَانِ عَلَيْهِ. But when you see your brother fall, then stand up to rescue him, save him. Let him not fall on the ground, because his fall is the collapse of the entire ummah, and rescuing him is the rescue and the deliverance of the entire ummah.